Hello, my loves. Welcome into this reading. This reading is for you if 1 degrees, 33 minutes of Aquarius shows up in your 11th house. If you haven't already watched the introduction video for this reading, I do recommend you go do that to get caught up in what we're going to be talking about here. So the houses in the zodiac story represent where something happens, and this is where the new moon is happening for you. So this is where we're getting a little bit of extra energy and a little bit of nudge from your support team and the cycles of the planets to look at this area of your life and make a change here with that new energy in play. So the 11th house is ruled by the 11th sign of the zodiac, Aquarius. So this house's rule is that this house is in the house of its ruler. And it's ruled by the planet Aquarius ruled by the planet Uranus because Uranus rules Aquarius and the 11th house. Okay. So this is the house of friendship. Okay. So if you watched the solar readings of Aquarius season, you'll notice this theme of friendships, of relationships of you and two others or more. This is a huge energy that we played with that lunar or with the solar phase. So this deals with those relationships. So anything that falls within the category of you and two or more people, community groups, charity work, wishes that you have, and humanity focused themes, right? This is the groups of 3 or more, okay? Energy. Humanity is a group of 3 or more. A very large group, right? So this is the realm that the 11th house deals in. So this is where I'm going to invite you to do something rebellious, pick something different. If you're already working on the Aquarius solar season project with those 2 other people that we are working with to help something with humanity, that could count for this, okay? You could use this as part of that. Like whatever advice you get from this card could be to help you with whatever you're doing for humanity from that reading with those 2 other people. Okay, that makes sense. You don't have to pick that, but it is an option. It's already kind of built in for you because this is in the house of its ruler, and this was the theme of that solar reading. Another way that you could rebel, anything that you do for humanity is going to be an act of rebellion right now, okay? Because we are so selfish and so self-centered that anything you do to be of service to the collective is already an act of rebellion. It's outside the norm. It's against the grain. Go ahead and do it. Please, 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 we need you. And I acknowledge my own selfishness when I say that, by the way. I don't think I'm above it. I see it all the time, and I'm actually really humbled by it frequently. So you're not alone there in the selfishness energy. So not to make you feel guilty about that, because you don't need to. Just something to be aware of. Society as a whole is very self-centered. Okay, so that's just how we were raised. It's what we're used to. It's what's familiar to us, and it's a hard pattern to break. But during the age of Aquarius, we gonna be breaking it. So maybe there's some charity work that you want to do. That's an act of rebellion. Maybe there's a community you want to get involved in. Even acting in community, in communal settings is an act of rebellion because we're in such a separate society that anything that you do in groups of 3 or more really is an act of rebellion, but especially things you're doing in communities, because even the community dynamic itself is a rebellious kind of way of being right now for our society, okay? Hopefully you're able to think of something. If you can't think of something, please reach out. I will help you develop something. I'm going to go in a little bit more detail here about the house system. So if you want to learn more about the house system, please stay with me. If not, scroll ahead to the card reading. So if you're using the whole house system and Aquarius is in the 11th house, that's because your rising sign is Aries. Okay, so you may have noticed using the whole house system that every single moon is in the house that rules it. That's because the sign placement in the houses is directly determined by where the rising sign is. So because your rising sign is Aries and the first house is Aries, ruled by Aries, all of the other houses are going to be in their rulers as well. Okay, so to find out where anything happens in your chart, in which house, you just think of what sign it's in and then count what number sign that is in the zodiac, and that's the house that that thing happens for you in. This is more easy for you than everybody else because everyone else has a skewed house placement, like it's not in their ruler. So if they have any other sign, rising sign besides Aries, their house alignment is going to be way different. Okay, they can still figure it out, which is part of what I'm sharing about the house system with this discussion that I'm having right here. But for you, it's way easier because you just, what number of the zodiac is that? Boom, that's the house it's in for me. So you may have also noticed, or you will notice, that the new moons are always in the house after the last one. So the 11th house is where the new moon in Aquarius is happening for you, while the new moon in Pisces is going to happen in your 12th house. You'll also notice that the full moon in the sign opposite the new moon will always happen in the house that's opposite of the house that the new moon happened in. So new moon in Aquarius is happening in your 11th house, while the full moon in Leo is going to happen in your 5th house, which is the ruler of the 5th house, Leo. Okay. And then those also rotate. So the next full moon in Virgo will be in the 6th house, and so on. Okay. Let's get to your reading. If you haven't already picked the way that you are going to rebel in the house of friendships and relationships of two and more, and or more. Gosh, that's so hard to say. Okay. Just take a deep breath, close your eyes, call on your spiritual support team. Open your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time. This goddess that's coming through wants to help you with that thing that you are rebelling in, the way that you're rebelling, the action that you're going to take. Ooh, here she is. Marcia Proba. She's the goddess of justice. Definite Libra energy here. 29 is the number. So if you want, you can ask your guides, your support team, to show you the number 29 to bring your awareness or your memory back to this message and to show you something happening in your life at that moment that deals with this message and this theme of wherever you're rebelling in the friendship area. Keywords: integrity, virtue, and fairness. Her country of origin is England, and here is her message. You possess the energy to push things forward by gaining a deeper and kinder understanding of yourself. Ooh. You're balancing your work and your pleasure time, reprioritizing and using good judgment in tricky situations. You'll have good relationships with people you may have fallen out with, which will bring you happiness as you find a fair answer to a difficult dilemma. If you're involved in a legal situation or dispute with a trading company, negotiating fairly and approaching a higher authority will, wow. So if for some reason you're involved in a legal situation or dispute with a trading company, only specifically this, negotiating fairly and approaching a future success. Okay, a few things in here to pull out with this message. What you presently say and do affects your future success. Please, please, please hold this message in your heart. And if you need help remembering this message and adjusting to this message, ask your guides to show you the number 29 and then let me know how it shows up for you, because this is such a fun way to play with the universe and synchronicities and our guides. They'll show you that number in the most hilarious of moments when you said something that you really wouldn't want to be part of your future, and that number 29 is going to be right there, and you're going to check in and you're going to be like, oh, Paige, it worked. So give that a try if that feels good to you. Another thing here, I was really focusing on, like, you're working in a group energy, but her message is too that you can support that group the most by working on you. So making sure you're in a good place to go into that group with, okay? Making sure you're not going into a group dynamic with energies that are gonna bounce around that dynamic and amplify and make things worse, okay? The other thing is that, like, if there's a group of 3, like if there's some sort of rebellion that you picked with some sort of group of 3 or more, and there was like tension in this area, that tension's going to resolve itself, okay? And like if someone you want to reconnect with somebody, you're going to be able to find a way to reconcile the differences that you've had. Okay, I feel like this is just for the house of friendship in general for you, that there may be some relationships that you feel really heartachy, about where they are, and she's just coming to say, like, you can negotiate through it. You can find a fair resolution for everyone involved, including you. Okay. Hopefully that helps you navigate your situation that you chose to engage in. Remember the power of your words, especially when you're talking about this group effort, this rebellion energy that you chose. And be aware that working on you will help everyone in this group. And yeah, know that you can reconcile and that fairness is on your side with this card. Okay. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if this... Oh, actually, hold on. Wait. Double check. Okay. So for those of you who aren't interested in learning a spell right now, you can dismiss yourself from class, dismiss yourself from the reading. This was actually part of my message with this new moon was I feel like it's an act of rebellion to offer you guys spells. Like I know not everyone's cool with that and that's not like normal to talk about spells or to offer spells to people to help support them in their journeys and to give people spells from their support team. But because of where this new moon happens for me in the house of healing and service, it makes sense that I'm being supported in offering this, even though it feels uncomfortable for me. So huge, big caveat, if you're not into spells, get out. I love you. Namaste. Really, seriously, truly, I do. Okay. If you're still here, I love you too. This is Marcia Proba's spell for legal success or justice. To win a legal matter, put legal letters in an envelope. Sprinkle camphor oil over the envelope. Take an ice cube tray and sprinkle 3 drops of oil into each section. On a small piece of paper, write, I win this legal dispute with name of person disputing, entity disputing. Put the paper in one of the sections. Slowly fill each section with water and put the tray in the freezer. On the night of a full moon, which will be February 5th, by the way, full moon in Leo, empty all of the ice cubes into a bowl to melt. Place the bowl in front of a white candle and light the candle and say, as this candle burns, light is illuminating strength on my side to win this legal dispute with fill in the blank. This legal dispute will dissolve and resolve in my favor. Once the cubes have melted and the candle has burned to a stub, snuff out the candle. Bury the paper and pour the water in the bowl over it. As the paper disintegrates and the full moon wanes, so too will your legal dispute and you will win. Okay, good luck with that. As always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.